Welcome back. We are WI 187 Podcast.
I'm your host, Ashley, and this week's story is of a missing elderly woman who cannot be identified. This is a very short story, but we feel it's important to tell.
So grab a snack and settle in.
At 11:15 p.m. on May 4th of 1984, three boys experienced a change in their life they never expected. In a very small town just 4 miles away of Westby, three teenage boys located a woman measuring 5'5" and 5'6" right off Old Line Road. Her face was beaten brutally to the point of unrecognizable features. She had a broken jaw and broken eye socket.
Oh my God.
Yeah, her hands had been severed at the wrists and are never recovered,
Oh my God.
right? Later, they suggested that the victim's fingerprints were in the system or there was a close connection to the suspect, and that's why they cut off her hands so they couldn't ID her.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it's brutal. A small puncture wound was right above her left ear that was noticed, later determined to have been caused by a knife. So it's like she was stabbed in the head, which, wow.
That gets me like every time because you have to make through skull matter. It just gives me the heebie jeebies.
Well, not even that. Like, this person beat her really bad, and then he decided to stab her in the head with a knife. Like, that's insane to me.
Well, he wanted to make sure she was dead and he accomplished that.
That's true. This woman was wearing a multicolored coat, a black dress decorated with a blue and white paisley print, a blue turtleneck sweater, and nylon stockings. And she also had on tan loafers, and those are the size 8.5. I have pictures of her outfits and her shoes that she wore in case anyone can identify anything about it. The brand labels were actually removed from the clothing, so they can't even identify where the store was that she bought them. There were also distinct.
That's like a real weird thing to remove.
Well, I'm thinking, and I don't know her thought, but I'm thinking she cut them off herself because she doesn't like tags.
Oh,
That's a very big possibility. I don't think the killer
okay.
thought about that.
I'm sitting here thinking, why would the killer go to all of that trouble? Okay.
Right, and then dump her on the side of the road. I thought the same thing.
Okay. That makes more sense to me in my brain. Okay. I got you.
Right. She also had distinctive buttons on her clothes, which had a very unique stitching. Those had also been removed. I think, personally, that was the suspect, and he may have ripped her clothes off or something.
Yeah.
That wasn't said, but that's the only way I can think of why they're removed.
Yeah, and the buttons just went like flying or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Investigators collected some pollen from her clothes. It was tested and indicated that she had spent time in New Mexico or Arizona. This is possibly where she was from and why no one can identify her in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
She had graying brown hair, which had looked like it was permed and not natural. No physical features were unique. She didn't have anything on her face or like tattoos or anything on her. She did have a vertical surgical scar on her abdomen, which was about 4.5 inches long, going up and down. Obviously, that's what vertical means.
Like she had like did it say like she had open heart surgery, like kind of by her heart or any
Well, it was her. abdomen,
Okay.
so she did have surgery. So someone might recognize that scar if they knew her personally.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She was about 150 pounds. That was just off of how they collected the evidence, and they later determined that during autopsy, she was around the age of between 50 and 60 years old. The mortician actually determined she was found within 24 to 48 hours of death.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask you that. Like, how long was she laying on the side of the road?
Yeah. But here's my thing, if you go to our website and you see the pictures, because the pictures of her from the mortician are there, her face looks like she had been there for a lot longer
Well, I
than
mean,
24 to 48 hours.
it probably looks that way, I'm assuming, because she was beaten so badly.
No, it's like sunken in.
Right. Like, he beat her so badly that her face swelled and then it unswelled. You know what I mean?
Also, yeah, I also noticed that her face didn't have bruising. I don't know how that works when you die, but
Oh, I have no
there was
idea.
like no indication like swelling or bruising or anything of that on her skin.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works either once you're deceased.
A couple came forward actually giving detail of a yellow car that was seen right around the area of where the news announced that she was located. They state they stated they saw a man get out of the car, walk around, and enter the car again and drove off.
Hmm.
The vehicle was believed to be a 1982 Datsun. Now, if you don't know what this looks like, I had no idea. I Googled it. There's a photo on our website. It's like a little mini car, nothing fancy. Upon investigation in the location where the woman was found, evidence was collected. She had a broken denture, well, two dentures missing. They were missing two teeth, which they think it could have been from the attack, or it also could be because she lost them. Sometimes they break.
Mm-hmm.
There was blood that tested O positive. They matched that to the victim. And then they found a man's quartz Seiko watch. I am not a watch person, so I don't even know if that's how you say it or how easily that's bought and get your hands on.
I have no idea. I'm not a watch person either, so.
Right. What I found really weird is I don't know if anyone else knows this, but dentures are marked with a serial number.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's random, but it's to make sure the lab has the correct individual's model and they can trace it to the um, dentist's office
Mm-hmm.
and know where it came from. However, the serial number could not be. They found the serial number, but they couldn't locate any information off that number, which is kind of weird to me. It makes me think like she got it outside of the US, or I'm speculating maybe she went to a very bad dentist. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how that system works on how to locate somebody through their denture system, but maybe they didn't look far enough out. Like you said, she could have been from New Mexico.
Yeah, or Arizona.
So maybe they just didn't look far enough away. I don't know. I don't know how that system works. So I don't know if you just type it in and it's like every single person who has dentures, you know?
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Even being in like the dental field right now, I still don't know. I just know there are serial numbers on them.
Right. Yeah.
Those dentures actually helped with the reconstruction of the victim's face, and they were able to find new features. It was determined that her murder was elsewhere, and they actually just dumped her at the location she was found. So there wasn't like blood splatter everywhere, there wasn't a murder weapon. She was just dumped.
I don't get how people can do that. Like, just load someone up in their car, pull over to the side of the road, hope that nobody drives by, and just toss the body out.
Right. I think that's the weirdest thing that killers do is dump them on the side of the road. Like, wouldn't you want to hide what you did?
Right.
Like,
Like,
make it less
knowing my
easy to
luck,
find you?
if I ever did that, someone would drive by like 2 seconds after I stopped the vehicle. Like,
Right, which is what happened to this person. Two witnesses saw him get out of a car, walk around, and then get back in the car.
oh my God. And they didn't say anything?
They did. They said they told the police they saw the man do that, but they couldn't identify who he was or like any features.
They didn't get license plates?
Nope.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, this is 1980, so
But still.
likelihood of them doing that, I don't think it's
Yeah.
possible.
I don't know. I mean, if you're suspicious enough to report it to the police, you would think you'd at least get the license plate.
Right. As of 2019, the DNA Doe Project took on the case. They excluded a bunch of missing women from the same area. Some of these women were Audrey Beckenberg. She was a 19-year-old missing from Indiana. Mary Van Glider. She was from Ohio, and she's been missing since 1945. Marie Jost, which we actually did an episode on.
Mm-hmm.
Joan Skaggs, she was a 53-year-old woman missing from California. Edna Reynolds was a 61-year-old woman from New Mexico. So they're kind of getting closer to that area where the pollen was found. But then they went to Joan Risch, was a 31-year-old woman missing from Massachusetts. So they kind of looked everywhere. Unfortunately, this is all the information we have on this person. If anyone knows any information or seen something suspicious in 1984 near the area she was found, please come forward. You can contact Wiki at unidentifiedwiki@gmail.com. There's also a Facebook page, an Instagram, and a Twitter page, which I will have located on our website and through YouTube, all of which can help identify this person.
That's so crazy to me. So you mentioned all those other people that are missing. Were they trying to loop them into the same like category? Because I know Marie, they never found her, but I'm not thinking she was like murdered, right? Well, we don't really know much about that case either, but is that what they're thinking?
Yeah, so they looked up any woman with like the same hair color, features that had been missing around that same time. Like, and so yeah. We also know that 400 tips emerged and no results were found on the suspect, which that's a lot.
Yeah.
400 tips and nothing.
I mean, it's crazy to me that nobody knows somebody that's missing.
Yeah, after all these years, you'd think like, oh, hey, this person, I haven't heard from them in a while. Wonder what happened to them.
Yeah.
You know? I don't see them going as far as contacting missing people, like finding a missing persons report or anything, but still.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone just falls off the face of the earth.
Right. Like even sketchy people that I'm not like, 100% fond of, I'll still keep tabs on them just to, make sure that they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Sad.
I know.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website, WI187 Podcast, for all of our resources. Follow us on social media, WI187 Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out our website to give a small donation. Just click on the donation button. All donations are greatly appreciated, while we pay for our whole production out of our own pockets. See you next Sunday for an all-new episode.